Bass fishing tips can help you land more and bigger bass than you thought was possible. Most bass fishing tips would tell you one thing: bass don't like too much sunlight. As such, expect to see them under lily pads, especially during sunny days. Other bass fishing tips would be using the correct kind of fishing equipment in order to heighten the chances of catching bass. A safe bet for those just beginning bass fishing is approaching sales clerks at the specialty stores and asking them which gear is best suited for the conditions in the water. The first bass fishing tip is that it is important to understand the environment in which bass live. Apart from specific geographic locations, you would also need to consider such dynamics as the water temperature and spawning grounds. There are many bass fishing tips and techniques. Everybody has their own ideas and what works for them. One of the most important bass fishing tips, though, in my opinion, is to experiment with the colors of the jigs you are using. It is usually best to match the color with the body of water where you are fishing to fool the bass. Examples of live bait that bass will devour include worms, frogs, crayfish, minnows, shad, grasshoppers, crickets, small snakes, and lizards. Largemouth bass will eat about anything it can get in its mouth. It spawns as early as March, or as late as June, when they can be caught easily. Smallmouth bass are extremely aggressive fish that will hit on virtually anything, so smallmouth bass are generally very easy to catch. Their feeding habits are affected by wind and weather more than the season. If you are fishing for smallmouth bass, find cool, clear water with an abundance of crayfish, and when you hook a smallmouth, be prepared for spectacular leaps and determined dives, unrivaled among freshwater fish. The best time to go is whenever you can. However, if you have only a few days and can choose, the Saluna tables, weather conditions, and barometer should all be considered. The best time to fish for bass is May through July, using minnows, crayfish, night crawlers, jigs, crankbaits and spinnerbaits. The best reel to use is a baitcast reel. These types of reels are perfectly suited to casting plugs and lures. It can help you land more and bigger bass than you thought was possible. The rod and reel combinations these days are extremely light and comfortable to use. Using one for a full day's fishing doesn't require much effort at all. Use a rod with some flex to it to absorb the shock of the initial strike. This will also keep the hooks from pulling out of the hybrid's mouth. That's all for now. I promise that I will be a little more specific next time and write more in-depth info on specific topics.